So we were talking how many were merited to draw close to the holy ways of Nach, Nachman, and the merit of the Ramchal. Let me explain part of this. See, there's a big leap that the Baal Shem Tov demanded then. Now it's already mainstream. It's already accepted. It's not a novelty, but it was a big leap of faith to recognize the greatness of the Baal Shem Tov and to leave the established way of the Talmud, of the rigid living that was in those days. But the Ramchal, see, the Baal Shem Tov didn't write any books. His students wrote books and explained. But even the way they explained it in their own paradigm already, using their own new methods, which explain themselves. But the Ramchal, more than anyone I know in the history, lays down black and white, methodically, scientifically, exactly how everything works, Kabbalistically, until this world. Everything. He lays it out beautifully, that it's not human, possibly, to come up with such brilliance, to just put it, show how, to show the whole picture with such intricacy, and it's just beyond, and he lays it out scientifically, step by step, showing the whole thing, and you can't argue with that, to the extent that even the great antagonists and the position of the Hasidus, they accepted the Ramchal for the most part, and they with high regard. The Vilna Gaon, the Gaon of Vilna, the Gra, supposedly said he would walk on foot all the way. If the Ramchal was still living, he would walk there to see him. But the Vilna Gaon was a big opposer to the Hasidut, and what I reckon is that he fully understood that they were very powerful people, the leaders of the Hasidut, that they were powerful in Torah and in Avoda, but he suspected that their power came from the conducting of the Rizal's meditations and kavanot, and the Vilna Gaon himself forbade his disciples, who were also great Kabbalists, to go in such ways, because he says, if in the time of the Arizal, which was 300 years before his time, it's 500 years from us, in the Holy Land, in a holy city in the Holy Land, there was already tremendous fear that the revelations from heaven were not pure, and they were adulterated and mixed in with all types of non-pure messages and imports. So the Vilna Gaon said, what could we say here in Europe, in Russia, outside the Holy Land? Another few hundred years of exile. It's too risky. It's impossible, he said, that we could have pure Hasaga. But yet, so one second, so therefore I reckon he realized that the Hasidic masters were tremendous, but he suspected that it was mixed, that they were not completely pure, because he did not believe in the power of the true tzaddik, and even though he was a generation after of the Baal Shem Tov, but the Maggid of Mezrich of his time, he did not realize, he didn't believe that there could be a tzaddik that no evil could even come close to. And all the Hasidic masters that were attached to him were pure. He couldn't believe that. But at the same time that he criticized and put his life at stake, this was his stance in life, and he pitted the whole world against the Hasidus. He accepted the Ramchal, and the Ramchal was getting revelations in Italy. Eventually he came to the Holy Land, but he started getting revelations in Italy. And the Vilna Gaon says that the Ramchal is completely holy. Completely, totally. The Vilna Gaon put on his Shabbos clothing when he greeted the messenger that brought him some of the manuscripts of the Ramchal. Now, so it's a tremendous dichotomy. It's something I can't really understand. I can't tell you how he could accept the Ramchal after the Ramchal passed away, of course, and openly deny that in his generation there could also be such a thing. But he wasn't willing to accept it because they weren't pandering like the Ramchal did. They weren't delivering everything on a silver platter. They demanded certain emunah, certain leaps of faith, certain commitments. But even still, it was actually a Maisa Satan, an act of the Satan that prevented them, because there are stories that they almost succeeded in bringing the Vilna Gaon around. And there was intervention from the Satan that saw to it that wouldn't happen. But let's get back to the point, being that in our beginning of these videos of the Ramchal, I pointed out that the Ramchal started with diktuk and grammar, and then he moved on. Once he started getting his divine inspiration, he moved on and was concentrating on concepts, on principles, opening up. You know, they were writing about the Ramchal when the whole dichotomy, when the whole conflict started against him. They said, why is he revealing new stuff? Why doesn't he give us, if what he's saying is true and he has such amazing new revelations, why doesn't he fill in all the blanks, all the few pages here and there that were missing from the Holy Zohar, and let him fill those in? What's he busy with new stuff? And they missed the boat, because the Ramchal shows us that first take a look at what we do have. We haven't touched the Zohar. What he shows us in 500-page book, written on a few pages of the Zohar, opens it up. But in the event, the Ramchal says that all the intentions, the kavanot of the Arizal that he gave over, he revealed to the students, especially in the matter of prayers, what to have the Kabbalistic intentions on all the words. He says they are not fundamental, they are not the main intentions. We came to the end of this video too. We're going to have to continue. Nach, Nachma, MeUman.